What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Heel Hookers Podcast, episode 130. We are back with some more fights to talk about, another UFC Apex Fight Night to review, some more Tapology results and fight news, all of the good stuff. But before we get into that, like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. We appreciate everyone that does. Let's go! Oh man. We gotta get right into it at the top. UFC Apex Royval versus Taira. It was a pretty solid fight night out of the Apex. A lot of good fights, a lot of fun results. But at the top of the bill, the main event, Brandon Royval gets his second split decision in a row, both this year. Both not deserving to be split decisions. I felt like both were pretty clear, like 3 rounds for each, for him in each fight. Gets the split decision over Tatsuro Taira. Tatsuro, no longer undefeated, moves down to 16-1 in his pro record. I guess the first thing with this one, because it went all 5 rounds, the first time in Taira's career in the UFC. Royval, we've seen him there many a times. What do you think are the biggest things that we really got to learn about Taira in this division? Since, obviously Royval won, but Taira, the guy that we were really hoping coming into this to get it done.
I think the biggest thing we learned is that he super needs to work on his defensive striking and his head movement, but his grappling is top fucking tier. Like, there's no doubt about it. We knew that his grappling was a strength of his, but obviously we didn't know how it translated to the highest level. Being he fought unranked guys, Alex Perez, and then number 1 Royval. You know what I mean? He definitely, his grappling is top tier. That is for sure. He proved it that at the highest level, he is there to, like, with the ability to just hold on to you, get great positions, flow like goddamn water when he has it, and you know what I mean? Yeah. But on the feet, he definitely has a lot to work on. When it came to, like, his own striking, he was able to put combinations together and get through, but the lack of head movement really fucked him up. And just defensive striking in general, like, it was pretty bad.
No.
Yeah. Sorry, Ginger.
Yeah. No, I was about to say go ahead, but like that's kind of the biggest thing is his striking, and mainly is like defensive striking, because he does not have a lot of head movement. He was just getting popped by every straight shot that Royval was throwing. And I was saying it last night as we were watching the fights. I think he should go to a boxing coach. I think the 2 biggest things that would actually help him with it is 1, the head movement, but 2, being able to pivot off into angles. Because if he was able to pivot off into an angle that normally a boxing coach would be like, "Are you pivot off here? You throw straight to the body." It's like, well, if you throw straight to the body or a hook to the body, you can get around, grab that body lock, and be able to take your opponent down. So I think the 2 biggest things that he'd be able to work on if he got something like a boxing coach would be his head movement and his like angle work, and being able to pivot off on the angle and be able to go in for his takedowns.
No, it definitely is a bit too stationary for sure. Like, so much of that, like you said, every time Royval was throwing straight shots, Taira was just standing in front of him, just taking them right to the face, which, to his credit, it's like, dude is tough as motherfucking shit. Yeah. The way that we have seen Royval just sleep motherfuckers and put people down so brutally in this division, like he's not a fucking 125-pound dude. You know what I mean? Like, he has real good power. A lot of the shots he wasn't really throwing with, like, that full finishing intent, you know what I mean?
But that 3rd round he was.
Oh, yeah. But so many of the shots that he was landing clean on Taira, like, it would hit him, and his face wouldn't change, his posture wouldn't change. It's like, his head would move a little bit. Oh, I got touched. And like, he's just standing right in front of him, ready to go with the same intentions that he was trying to do before he got punched.
Yeah, absolutely no reactions. Like, bro, even the fact that he ate 2 clean knees and then proceeded to work on the takedown, it was pretty crazy. Like, obviously the 3rd round, like, he got real hurt in there. Yes. But you could tell he didn't give up on himself. Like, he would cover up for a few seconds and then explode out, end up getting hurt again and back into that position, but he was not letting himself get out of there. Like,
There were like 2 specific moments that I remember in the 3rd round. When he was like leaning forward, Royval hits him with the knee and he just drops to the floor. And in that moment, it's like, okay, like, the fight's over. Royval's just punching him like this is gonna get called. He was just kind of sitting there for a second, and like you said, didn't quit on himself and just popped right back up, like, I'm ready to go. And then he was like on the ground, like, just another point getting punched, and then like, just good shots landing, and it kind of looked like he went down like a little bit again, and just the same thing, got back up, threw the punches, and just kept on fighting. So many guys you see, they get hurt and they're in a bad position, and the only way out is to go through more punches. And it's like, it's understandable to like get to the point where like, I can't take that anymore, I'm done, you know what I mean? Taira easily could have done that. Number one contender, first 5-round fight. No one would have blamed him at all. He said, "Fuck that! I'm getting up and I'm fighting through it."
Yeah, it's like he really thought to himself, "I'm getting punched anyway. Might as well stand up while I'm getting punched." Like, it's just, With him losing his O, obviously he was very emotional. I absolutely loved the support from Royval. Made me want to cry more than like Taira being upset. Like him talking about he'll do anything to like help this kid. He will be champion one day. Like, I loved that.
Yeah.
But it's like Taira is only 24 years old, and I truly think with how this fight went, this is definitely a learning experience of a loss. He has so much time to put something together. He's going to be a problem in a couple years. Like,
because, like, to Ginger's point earlier, with, like, the striking, he has good offense, he has really good skills, but it's just he doesn't move his head and he doesn't move his feet, so he's just there to be hit all the time. If he can get those things going and to, like, tighten that up, that would just improve his game so much. Another thing that I feel like he just really has to, like, just kind of figure out with himself is just that 5th round burst with like the cardio and being able to push through the fire. Because Royval, Pantoja, Moreno, Figgy's not in the division anymore, but so many of these top guys, we've seen them push through 5-round wars, tough, grueling fights, and it a lot of times comes down to who wants it more in that 5th round. Taira didn't have it in him to push with the grappling and do enough in that 5th round to possibly take it back to win. So just being able to like understand the cardio that he needs, manage the energy in the right positions more, like he is going to improve so much throughout his career.
Exactly, because I'm going to assume this is the first time he's faced this much adversity in a fight and has taken that much damage in such a quick succession in his whole life. I feel like that's something you can't necessarily prepare for. It's not until you go through it and you actually understand, like, okay, this is what it is and this is what I need. And now that he's been there, I think it's really going to help him.
Yeah, man. Like, it just like kind of quick math of looking, it looked like Royval landed almost double the amount of significant strikes out of all of his other opponents in the UFC combined. Because it's like he landed 124 on Taira, Alex Perez 41, 2 for Carlos Hernandez, 25 Edgar Chairez, 2 for Jesus Aguilar, 19 CJ Vergara, and 9 for Carlos Candelario. Like, these guys are not landing or doing shit to him. And we knew coming in, Royval is the guy that is going to put stuff on you, and it's how can you handle it. And it's like, because, just going back to earlier with the grappling, it's like he landed 6 takedowns in this fight against Royval, had 12 minutes of control time, and that was really like across 2 rounds that he, like mostly 2 rounds that he was able to do that. Pantoja, with his mixed success, like across the entire fight with Royval, got 8 takedowns with 15 minutes of control time. That's the motherfucking champion of the world defending his title. This is fucking 24-year-old Taira in his first 5-round fight ever.
Yeah.
The striking for sure has to improve on. He could probably out-grapple most of the people in the division and still be a top guy with just his grappling right now. It's like, he is so good. And yeah, to your point earlier, like Royval said, like, he is going to be a champion one day. I have absolutely no doubt about that in my mind.
Oh, yeah. And then with Royval, do you think that he's just going to be next in line for a title shot? Or do you think that they'll have him fight again and he might not want to sit out since it is booked, and we'll get to that booking? But
so cause he would, on the post fight, he fucking gave all the respect to Taira and everything, but then he fucking went off too and was just like, I'm fucking the next one in line for this title, no matter who wins it. If Kai Asakura gets it, then I'm going to Japan to fight him for it. If Pantoja wins, then I'm going to Brazil. He's like, he wants to be the backup fighter. Like, he is making. He wants to fight for the title.
And he said not only the backup fighter for that, but he also said the backup fighter for the Alpazi Moreno fight. because that's the one in
didn't see that.
Edmonton. Yeah, that's the one in Edmonton. And he's like, I'll be the backup for them too. I'll fight any of these motherfuckers. I've got wins over everyone in the top fucking 5. I'm fucking next.
That I mean, like, he hasn't fought Albazi, so doesn't have that win,
but still,
but yeah, everyone else he's beaten, so like, you know what I mean. But yeah, man, I mean, the backup for that, it's like, what, Albazi ends up pulling out again, and we get him versus Moreno again in the same year on short notice. Like, come on, what are we doing here?
But I understand his point to it.
But exactly,
yeah, he's just like.
Because then even with the Pantoja and the Asakura fight, he was saying, he's like, when was the last time Kai made 125? Put me as the backup. Yeah. If he can't make weight, I can. Like,
Yep.
He's the top dog, #1 contender for a reason, an absolute animal in there, and man, the ability to put it on in the striking and the grappling, it's like he got controlled for so long by Taira, but still scrambling throughout the back control and the mount and everything as much as possible, going for submissions whenever he could. Like,
no, yeah, his ability to survive has definitely gotten really good, because it's like I mean, he's only been subbed the one time, knocked out the one time, but you know what I mean? It's like,
and that was a shoulder injury for like the TKO loss, so it's just kind of
But like with the one sub, because that was Pantoja that subbed him in their first fight, right?
Yep.
Rear naked choke. Okay. Taira had Royval's back with one arm in the body lock, and Royval was still able to defend the RNC beautifully and survive that fucking round. Like, he is not easy to get out of there for sure.
Yeah. Not at all.
Yeah.
You think he wins the trilogy with Pantoja?
It's entirely possible, man.
I know, because with Pantoja just getting older and stuff, it's like Royval putting his shit together and just really on a move right now, really with a mission. I don't know. He could get it done.
Yeah, man.
Like, I mean, the first loss was a rear naked choke, and his second loss was a UD loss. If I remember, it was still like tentative on like some of the rounds, like could have gone his way and stuff. So it's just like,
it's close for sure.
If he had just done more in those rounds, it's just like he could easily, like, if he just puts a couple things together in a trilogy fight, he could win it.
Yeah.
Pantoja just going to be the first one at the lowest weight class to defend his belt at the age of 35.
Maybe.
Because if he defends it now, by the next time he fights, his birthday is in April, he probably will be 35 at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll have to see how that all plays out. But either way, Royval should definitely be fighting for the title next, no doubt about that. Even if it is a trilogy with Pantoja, it's just like, it's like, yeah, if Albazi beats Moreno, it's like obviously he's got a claim for it, but it's just like, come on, man, what the fuck else does Royval got to do to earn? It's like, I feel like at most Albazi wins, and then you do Royval Albazi to figure out like the number, like who actually is deserving. Let Pantoja, whoever, like ends up being the champion, get a break, and then we go from there.
Yeah, because when it comes to Albazi, really the only thing he has is the fact that he's a new matchup. That's all he has, because he's another one of those guys where it's like he didn't have any ranked wins, and then he got through into a Kai Kara France fight off of a win over Alessandro Costa. They went to a split decision that many people thought he lost, like super, super close. And now he's fighting Moreno. So it's like, even if he does beat Moreno, it's like, yeah, he's a top guy. Currently on a 2-fight losing streak, though. And it's just, those are the only 2 wins. Like, yeah, like you said, at best for him, Royval and him, and then winner gets the title shot. But I feel like you should just give it to Royval and let him fight somebody else.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I understand, like,
Taira, like... Because I know Albazi's a top guy, and like I know you wanted to see him like kind of fight back, but just to my point of him not being like having the most wins or doing the craziest stuff, like I still feel like that would be a good matchup.
Yeah,
I do find it funny, like now looking at it retrospectively through this fight, what happened in this fight, and like that fight gets booked with Amir and Moreno and all that. It's just kind of like, it would have been better if it was like Amir versus Royval and Moreno versus Taira. It almost would have made more sense.
Yeah.
But but sometimes that shit just can't happen. Timelines, all that. I understand why sometimes that doesn't, but it's just like, damn, this would have made more sense if they had done it this way.
No, yeah, 100%. But either way, it was a great fight. Ended up getting the fight of the night. Both of them 100% deserve that $50,000 bonus. There is no doubt about that.
No, yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Co-main event, we move on to another split decision on the card. Had 4 split decisions on the card overall.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
been having a lot
fun.
more lately.
Yeah.
Sal Yamato was the dissenting judge on 3 of them.
Yeah, but Iron Turtle, he gets it done over Brad Tavares, the tough vet. Gets it back on the winning track after losing a split decision to Andre Muniz. Gets on the right side of one last night. It was definitely a very tough start to the fight for him. No idea how they're not giving Brad a knockdown on the official stats. Because he just bombed a 1-2 on the Iron Turtle's chin, sat him down, and had him laid out on the floor. Pretty sure that's a knockdown. But
whatever.
I don't know. Maybe they. I don't fucking know, man. It is so stupid at what they scored. Certain things. But either way, tough fight. Looked really good. Did a lot more striking with Brad Tavares than I thought he was gonna do, and got like a lot better of the exchanges throughout like the back end of the fight.
Oh yeah.
On the mic.
This is why I laughed a minute
He gets
ago.
asked, who does he want next? And he says that he wants a top 15 opponent or a money fight.
Bro, what money fight?
There's
What money
one
fight,
man for him to fight if it's not a top 15 opponent, and that's Paul Craig in a money fight.
That's not a money fight, 1. And 2, he shouldn't be fighting in the top 15. Like,
how is it not a money fight, though? Paul Craig.
Somebody has
that
to
is
be
not a money
draw.
fight.
That's why.
Bruh, he can definitely get a new contract to fight Paul Craig. And they headline, like, an Apex event. You know what I mean?
The thing is,
that's
they can't
not a
even
money
headline
fight.
Apex, because at least 90% of the time when like there's an Apex, they'll at least headline it with people in the top 15. Even if it's not the most meaningful fight, at least it'll be ranked contenders. The Iron Turtle and Paul Craig headlining the Apex.
Main event South Korea? Or Scotland?
No.
That's the only money fight for him. Or Bo Knuckle. If Bo beats Paul Craig, maybe Bo Knuckle gets it.
That's the only one that I could see as a money fight, I guess. And it's just going to be as a step up for fucking Bo Knuckle anyway.
Yep. There's no money fight.
Listen,
for
I love the Iron Turtle.
Turtle. He's cool. But it's like...
And then as for the rankings, it's like, yeah, he beat Brad in the split decision, got dropped in the first round, even if it wasn't scored that way. Lost the split to Muniz, but come on. No.
He should get the loser of Chris Curtis and Roman Kapilov.
I mean, I don't hate that because it would be the loser is going to be not going to be in the top 15 anymore, and honestly, I can understand the idea behind it.
That's the path.
Okay.
They obviously it's a tough fight, no matter for sure, but he's not getting a top 15 opponent.
No, yeah, and if he gets that,
there
it's
is
just
no
going to
money
show why
fight.
he should. Yeah.
I like to have fun and stuff, but
you know who he should fight? You know who the Iron Turtle should fight?
Who?
Ikram Alaskarov.
I'm down. Let's go. Ikram versus the Iron Turtle. Book it.
Dog.
Saudi Fight Night main event.
No.
That's how you get him in a main event.
But yeah, either way, the Iron Turtle, love to see him getting back on the winning track. That's 5 wins in his last 6 fights. Doing pretty solid in the middleweight division. Definitely getting a little bit more notable than a lot of these other guys just hanging around, you know? People love the Turtle, man. Featured bout, though. Not that exciting of a fight. Chidi Njokuani versus Jared Gooden. Chidi gets the unanimous decision. Basically, just clinched the fuck out of Jared Gooden throughout most of the fight to get the win. He had some pretty good work in the second round, landing a lot of good knees and elbows and stuff, but it wasn't...
But the first round was pretty boring, and the third round was pretty boring.
Yeah, so nothing too crazy there.
Yeah.
But speaking again back on the winning track, though.
What a way to do it.
Yeah, Grant Dawson versus Rafa Garcia. I definitely thought this was going to be like a setup win for Grant Dawson for him to get back on the winning track, look good. I thought he was going to get a pretty solid unanimous decision win in this one, maybe have some fun back and forth, but a clear victory for Grant Dawson.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all how it went. They dominated Rafa in the grappling, and then second round just really started to put it on him, beat the fucking shit out of him, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, just had him leaking, bleeding all over. That was the exact kind of win that Grant Dawson needed after losing to Bobby Green like that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Which I keep forgetting that he beat Joe Selecki in between.
Damn, he did. Fuck,
sorry. Because he lost like that, and then he goes to the UD in a non-fun fashion. This is how you're supposed to do it. I know. I'm looking at this, and I was like, "What the fuck? Wait, this wasn't his fight back." Whatever.
Yeah.
Whoops. All right, so he's back on the winning streak. 2 fights in a row.
This is how you make people remember you're back on a winning streak.
Yep.
Yep. I was like, wait a minute, I'm pretty sure he fought lucky because we're excited for that fight.
I'm such a fool. Either way, though, it is a great win. That's definitely...
That's your boy.
Huh?
Selecki, that's your boy. You forgot?
I mean, I know him. I watch him. I mean, But hey, either way, Grant Dawson. With a win like that, I don't know exactly how the UFC is going to be caring to push him or matchmake him or anything like that. But if he wants a shot back at the top 15 and it's only going to be tough fights, I would want to see him versus Benoit Saint-Denis. I feel like that is a very solid fight to go. It's like Benoit, he probably should get a further step back for his own career than Grant Dawson.
Yes.
But that's just not how the UFC is going to do it at all.
And if the UFC don't want to throw him into the top 15, they want him to have one more win. I got 3 names that you can pick from. Just any of them. Joel Alvarez.
Tough fight.
Faris Ziam.
Tough fight.
Diego Ferreira.
I think he whoops Diego Ferreira. But... Alright. Grant Dawson versus Faris Ziam. Joel Alvarez versus Benoit Saint-Denis.
I'm down.
Bro, that'd be a fucked up fight. That'd be so good.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Someone's getting ran the fuck over in that fight. That's all I know. That I'm not sure who it's gonna be, but yeah. Either way, though, good for Grant Dawson. Improves his record to 22 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw.
He needs to go to a draw in his next one.
Yeah, and then just retire. Just be like,
22, 2-2.
I got the perfect record. Let's go.
Nah, he needs 2 no contests there. 22, 2-2, no contests.
Just has that draw and just starts getting real, just shaky with his confidence and just does a whole bunch of steroids and just gets caught twice. So he has 2 no contests and then just retires after like a fucking 10-year suspension. On to the last fight, or the opening fight on the main card. Last one to talk about. Daniel D-Rod Rodriguez taking on Alex Morono. D-Rod gets the split decision. Last split decision on the main card. I figured D-Rod was going to win, but I really didn't think that he was going to let Morono do as many Morono things on him. Bro, just so many of those exchanges of just watching D-Rod just like jab or something, and then fucking Morono just such a wild swinging right hand, and just D-Rod getting hit by it. It's like, I know he's getting older and like, just not as good as he once was, but it was just like, damn, man. I thought that would be a much easier win for D-Rod.
No, for sure, because it's like he was on a 3-fight losing streak, but those people being Neil Magny, Ian Gary, and Kelvin Gastelum. So it's like, all right, Morono he should have got that easily, but I think his age probably just is catching up to him.
Which it's funny because like he's what, 37?
Yeah, 37.
37? Yeah. It's not like Morono's a spry chicken either. He's fucking 34 and he's had 35 fights. So.
No, yeah. Just one of those things, obviously those 3 years, especially getting into the later 30s, it really makes a difference. And so Morono being a little 100%. Bit younger and just being a scrappy motherfucker in there, it just...
No, yeah.
Definitely can understand. Jeez. But that is the UFC main card from the Apex. On the prelims, we had some pretty goddamn good performances, honestly.
Yeah, we did.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how I missed it on the rundown, but Ramazan.
Yeah, Ramazan Temirov and CJ Vergara. That was crazy. For as long as it lasted.
Yes.
Ramazan making his UFC debut, getting himself a performance bonus in it because 250 into the first round, he had Vergara out of there. But he hit him with a big shot that dropped him and had him up and straight up running away. Ramazan chasing after him, just throwing shots from behind, hits him on the side and just down again.
Yep.
Vergara really tried as hard as he could to
survive.
To survive because he got knocked down 3 times in the matter of 2 minutes and 50 seconds. And obviously Ramazan just bombing on him when he could, and it was over.
Yeah,
it was
last
over.
one body shot, fucking ripped him, folded him up.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yep.
Perfectly just placed, just boom.
Yeah, man.
He just drops.
It's like, you got fighter so hurt and everything like that. It's like, just plant one right to the liver. I doubt they're gonna be able to take it as well if they weren't hurt already, even if it was to the head. You know what I mean? And Ramazan, 125 are just getting so many killers in this division, man.
Yeah,
like,
bro, 11 knockouts in his career. That's crazy at 125. And just, making your debut, and that's how you do it? Beautiful.
CJ Vergara is not like he's like...
That was the first time he's ever been knocked out.
Yeah, crazy. So, just such a good win for Ramazan, man. Can't wait to see what he could do in the flyweight division. Pat Sabatini, I did not expect him to just run over JSP like that.
No.
I mean, I guess I should have expected a little bit more because fucking when he grappled Nico Price, he got a hold of him and made that shit look super easy. I think it was like a 40-second fucking two-left stretch or some shit like that. It was super fast.
Dumb.
But 4 minutes, 6 seconds into the first round, gets a rear naked choke over JSP. Got to the back pretty quickly. He was working around just trying to grab the rear naked choke. As soon as he got that in, you seen fucking JSP was trying to fight for it, and then it just started to get tight. Just tapped him, and that was it, man.
Just so crazy to think that a year and a half ago, JSP was on a very good streak. He lost his debut. He was on a 5-fight winning streak and was matched up to fight Bryce Mitchell. That fight gets canceled. He fights Joe Anderson Brito in November, gets ninja choked, then loses the decision to David Onama, now loses to Pat Sabatini. Like, it's just so wild. Supposed to be fighting in the top 15, fight gets canceled, 3-fight losing streak.
And it's not like his debut loss was even that bad of one. It was to Joe Lozon. Damn. Way to give a debut.
I know, it's one of those things where it's like, just came in, was doing so good, and just one of those guys that I've always been high on, and I'm like, he's a very solid fighter. I love to see him fight. And then, just like you said, so quickly, it's just like, oh, fuck, like, just 5-4 in the UFC now, 3-fight losing streak. Like you said, it's just
like going into the Bryce Mitchell fight, he would have been 5-1. In the UFC.
Yeah.
Like,
5-fight win streak with 3 finishes in there, like, I mean, his first set of 3 losses in his career was a 3-fight losing streak.
That's really funny.
And he got finished in 2 of those. So
one of them by toe hold.
Yep, toe hold and submission. So he got subbed twice in both of them. So hopefully he bounced back again with a 5-fight winning streak that landed him in the UFC.
It'd be really funny. It's funny when people do have records that actually kind of match up like that. But
that almost mirror itself.
So he's gonna go on another 5-fight winning streak, and then he's gonna lose 1 5-fight winning streak, lose 3, and then by that point he's gonna be an old man and he's gonna get cut. So But yeah, either way, it sucks for JSP. I'm sure he'll be back, but great win for Pat Sabatini. 19-5 record overall, improves to 6-2 in the UFC. Very solid fighter as well. It's like he got fucked up pretty quickly in his 2 losses, first round finishes, Damon Jackson and Diego Lopez, but
Damon Jackson, Diego Lopez, like
yeah,
pretty good. Like one's top 5 right now.
yeah.
Then the other one, very solid fighter.
Very solid. Moving on to the next notable one. Bruh. This was
incredible.
The pure essence of why Kate hates heavyweights.
No, listen. Okay.
But like yes and no.
Yes,
because obviously
no.
it was like fun and like
because the way it played out was okay. So yes, you're right. That the pure essence of it, because this shit went a total of 7 minutes and 15 seconds, and it says KO, TKO by punches, but it was just exhaustion. Dude wasn't out of there. He just couldn't do anything, and Tafa could barely put shit together.
Bro, I really thought we were, like, if that fight lasted another 2 more minutes and, like, Tafa wasn't able to get it done, I really thought we were about to see a fucking Kimbo Dada 5000 situation.
We're just falling over.
Yeah, we're literally, it's like the guy throws a punch, doesn't even, like, land, and just halfway falls around the cage and just falls on his face and just has 2 heart attacks and has to get hospitalized and like, bro, the exhaustion was terrible.
I feel like the only thing you can give to these guys is the fact that they were both not the original fighters for this fight, because it was supposed to be Chris Barnett versus Waldo Cortez Acosta.
Yes.
Acosta pulls out, Junior Tafa steps in, Chris Barnett pulls out because the hurricane affected his house, so I hope everything's good with him. But now in steps debuting 4-0 Sean Sheriff, who I'm pretty sure only has first-round knockouts.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
No.
But the reason why I wasn't mad at this heavyweight fight going this way is because I get mad when this happens and then they're like, oh no, I'm going to shoot a takedown and now we're both just laying here. Because at least it was really funny to watch them throw a shot and then just stand there in front of each other with no energy, just breathing, like 15 seconds between each little burst. Oh my god, it was so bad. It was so funny.
Neither of them even like right here anymore. Both of them just like right here, just...
Yeah, just standing in front and like, cause the one moment that like it really just fucking had me like, and it just made me laugh so hard because obviously Junior Tafa, like he has a kickboxing background, so he obviously has the things of like the technical things that he's gonna do. Bro, they were standing in front of each other, hands down for like 20 seconds, not doing anything. And then Tafa like reaches out to paw at his hand for like just that little bit. It's like, bro, what are you there's nothing to paw at. His hands are at his hips. Like what are you? It really got me.
Listen,
just
these big
like,
unprepared boys did too much in the first round. That's what it was. Because Tafa threw 75 shots, Sheriff threw 106, and went for 5 takedowns in the first round.
And he was getting them in like,
oh my god.
It was a good fucking scrap. They were both putting it the fuck on each other. Sean got a fucking chin on him, man. Because it literally, was 7. Because he took this fight on what, like a week's notice or something like that?
I don't even think it was a week.
But like,
about that.
It took so much exhaustion to set in, and then for him to get bombed on for a minute straight for it to like put him down, like, oh my god, man. Crazy.
It's like the ref should have just done the right thing, and I mean it would have sucked for Tafa for sure, but in the end of the first round Sheriff had him down and was just ground and pounding him, and the ref just let it go to the bell even though Tafa wasn't doing anything, wasn't defending. Like, he could have called it rightfully.
Arm up, just not moving.
We did not need the second round because Jesus Christ, I mean it was hilarious.
We needed that.
What a
I love the significant strike, the stats on it, because landed by target. Okay, these make sense. Landed by position. You have Sean at 83, 1 at distance, 1 in clinch, 15 on the ground. Tafa 100% at distance.
Yeah.
That's just hilarious.
Yeah, man, that was a very fun heavyweight scrap between the two of them. Sean Sharaf, definitely a rough UFC debut, but let's see what he can do against some of these other heavyweights and see if he can string together some first-round finishes again. Because having an actual fight camp and everything, he's out of Extreme Couture, so he's got a great team behind him and great training partners. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he can do something all right in the division, you know?
Yeah,
for sure. Considering it's going to be unranked heavyweights, too, like...
He's a 31-year-old heavyweight, so he's young in his career, and this was his 5th professional fight.
Yeah, and he's got grappling too, so you know, like that's gonna take him so far against a lot of these heavyweights. Just fucking blast double, take him down, and beat the fuck out of them. That's a fucking minute win. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, no, 100%.
Good fun fight though. Last little mentions on the prelims, the two first fights on the card. Cody Haddon versus Dan Argueta. That was a very fun scrap. Just a dog fight between the two of them, both looking exhausted after the first round. Wow. But Cody Haddon was just putting so much damage and pressure on Dan Argueta, hitting him with so many shots, and the toughness of Dan to hang in there and stay alive through the 3 rounds. Cody Haddon getting the unanimous decision win. He looks like a very good prospect at 135 pounds. I'm excited.
For sure, because my biggest thing that I loved seeing from Cody was the consistency he went to the body. Yes. 38 out of 46 body shots. When, like, I know that's not the craziest amount of numbers when it's 100 out of 232 to the head, but when do you even see numbers like that of people really going to the body that consistently every single round? Beautiful work.
Almost never. And me and Jimmy always complain about it because we're always like, no, go to the body. Like, what?
Yeah, when it was open, he did it.
So, definitely great work there. Definitely can't wait to see what he does at 135 pounds. Tough-ass division, so no guarantee that he'll get good shit done, but, you know, we'll see. Last fight, talk about back at 125 pounds. Clayton Carpenter remains undefeated. He gets the technical submission with the rear naked choke because he put Lucas Hocha unconscious. That was a very good win for him, and just another fighter coming up that it's like, all right, hopefully we can get a little bit more activity with him, but let's see what he can do at 125 pounds. Gets himself $50,000 as well.
Yep.
Well, let's go. That is the UFC card out of the Apex. Very fun.
I was about to say 3 125ers on the 3 fights for 125 on this card.
Yeah.
Division's really starting to come up.
Which is very nice.
Thank God the UFC didn't cut the division.
Yeah. And just not a decent amount of finishes on the card. Not, the most, but with the 3 flyweight fights, 2 of them went to finish. So, and then you got fight of the night in the main event. Yeah, actually, all the flyweight fights got the bonuses. I just realized that. That's actually really funny.
Because Clayton Carpenter,
I saw that.
Like I said, sorry, I can't read it from here. And
Clayton Ramazan, Temirov, sorry.
No, you're good. And then, main event, Taira and Royval. Hell yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so very nice. Moving on real quick to Tapology for this event. An absolute terrible night.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, I did pretty good on the main card. Got everything right on the main card other than the main event. We all thought that Taira was going to end up pulling out a submission. Me and Ginger went 3rd round, Kate with the 2nd. But
the end of that 3rd round, it was looking close.
Yeah, at the end of the 3rd round. Yeah, bro. What'd you say?
I said, so I was the most right,
He did have his best round in the 2nd, but he did get close in the 3rd. When it was like just with you saying that, the fact that when it went to the split and the commentary was just like, oh, but that 3rd round though,
it's like, bro, 3rd round is not what was close, you fucking fools. I don't think any of them were close. 1, 3, and 5 was clearly Royval, but if you wanted to argue the 1st round, that is the only possible arguable round.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed. The reason they were probably arguing is because he was closer to a finish, which even then I would be like, no, the fuck he wasn't. That was still
right, like not even a little bit.
The fuck are you talking about?
4 rounds of ass whooping versus fucking just under a minute of like fucking having your back and looking for a sub. Like, come on, man, get the fuck out of here. Come on.
That's what I'm saying, like it was bad. It was bad. The commentary was not good in that main event. I'm not gonna lie.
But Ginger comes in first, 555 points. I came in 2nd with 490. Kate in 3rd with 480. Super fucking close game between us two, and
super close. Yeah, I was about to say, I got 9 right. You guys each got 8 right. Like,
Yeah.
that's literally, like, right there.
Terrible night.
I had 1 decision, 2 semi-perfect. I started the night off with a perfect.
Yeah, I got my
That was
best.
the only perfect I got all night.
My best was guessing 3 decisions with Iron Turtle, Rodriguez, and then Haddon.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
I don't
go.
got my stuff up, but I did bad.
That is Tapology. On to some fight news. Boy, do we got stuff to talk about.
Do we?
First thing that we're going to get into is not too much of news, but kind of just some talks and things that are going on. And it's all with the 155-pound division, because boy, are people talking and are things potentially getting set up for the start of next year. First thing, today, old Dusty Poirier, he decided to go and tweet out, "Fight news coming soon." So with that, just to start there,
Yes.
we know that Oliveira is booked against Chandler.
Yes.
Conor doesn't have an opponent.
Yes.
Dan Hooker, Gaethje don't have opponents.
Yes.
So Conor, Dan, Gaethje have got to be the only 3 people that are like Dustin's probably gonna fight, right? If
Yeah,
we're
I would
looking at
assume
like
so.
155.
I would
No,
super
yeah.
assume so.
And honestly, I don't mind a trilogy between him and Gaethje.
Yeah.
Not
mean,
at all. How many times
1
have I
and
said it?
I wouldn't mind
knock
a fucking
each other
rematch with Dan Hooker, a trilogy with Gaethje, or the quadrilogy with McGregor.
With Conor.
Any single one of those, I really have no problem with.
I'm fine with all of them.
Literally, any of them could fight any one of each other, and it's fine. It's just, how does it get matched up? Because we see Dan Hooker talking about Conor, Saudi, February 1st. Conor saying the same thing. They're both agreeing to it, talking about it's just up to the UFC now. So it's like, is that actually real? Is the UFC going to book that, and then we do get Dustin and Justin, or is there going to be a little switcheroo?
Yeah, because on Saturday, BKFC had an event in Spain. Conor was a very big part of that. Dan Hooker was out there because he was in the corner of Oscar Willis because he was fighting on that card. And so, yeah, they were like, just talking. And I'm pretty sure it was like in the ring or something that Conor said afterwards. Dan Hooker, Saudi Arabia, February 1st. And then as soon as he said that, my first thing to go check was, is February 1st a Saturday?
It's Saturday. It is.
Because that would have been such a Conor thing to just pull out a date and it not even be a Saturday. Just drunk off his ass at BKFC and just, this is the first date that I thought of. Like,
but
so it's
that was hilarious.
Yo, fucking imagine Conor McGregor versus Dan Hooker, Saudi Arabia. Yo, I am so down with that fight.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Yeah. Like he was saying, I'm down with any of these fighters fighting each other in any order they want. But I'm fine with the quadrilogy. I'm fine with Gaethje versus Conor. I'm fine with Gaethje versus Hooker. Like, oh my god, that'd be a fucking war.
Like, I low-key want that fight so bad.
I do and I don't because it's so terrible for both of them.
I know,
it is.
But what a fight
I just
that
realized
we haven't
how
gotten.
much of a
like,
fucking
it's
war
still
that
doable
is.
and
We
to
do
such
need that
great
fight.
potential. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like they're literally both in the top 5, and it's so like it. Yeah,
like,
Gaethje
I don't want
coming
this...
off of a loss, Dan Hooker coming off wins. It's like it's right there.
Because how many times have we seen fights that it's like, oh, if this was booked 5 years ago, that'd be good. You know what I mean? Like, this is the fucking time if we're ever gonna, like, if it's ever gonna get done.
Yeah.
Because I don't want them to decide that they still want to fight or they want to come back for like a big money fight. Now they're 38, 39 years old fighting each other. Like, fuck that. Let's do it now. Like, they're at the back half of their prime, but they're still there putting on fucking wars. Let's get it.
Yeah.
And then, because the last thing with tying it in, Ali Abdelaziz just talking, saying that Gaethje is, he's hoping that Gaethje's going to fight in March, that's like about a year layoff since, the knockout loss to Max, which is a very good amount of time for him to take after that. And just, he is just one of those fighters where it's like, yeah, like you said, been in all these wars and everything, where it's like, you should probably take the Stipe route of where, like, yeah, Stipe being the champ, the end of his run, where it's like fighting kind of like a year in between every fight because he's taken a shit ton of damage, need time to recover, and then you're fully refreshed, ready to go. It's like, when you've had all these years of fighting, ring rust isn't really as much of a factor. It's like, you're gonna fight how you're gonna fight, you know?
Right.
Yep.
So, yeah, 155. Probably within the next month or two, we are gonna be having a whole lot of news and shit pop off. And
Oh,
what do you
man.
mean?
The chills. I fucking love this division, and it's because of all of these people. Because we already have Chandler Oliveira booked. You know, let's get these bookings, and it's just.
Do you think? I'm sorry, go Ginger.
I'm just wondering what Dana's going to be announcing this week. It's Francis Ngannou fight week.
Yeah, that's very
so true.
Bro, that's why Dustin has fight news coming soon.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's so fucking funny. Whenever they do media day, that's so if they do it Wednesday, then that's gonna that's so. Oh my god, that's
You're
so
a
fucking
genius.
funny. Yeah, but with like all of that at 155, do you think this is gonna be like, because you know, with getting like Chandler Oliveira and then however all of these guys get booked, this is gonna kind of be the last set of all these big fights and these big names of all these guys at 155 pounds.
And that's why I want it now, because
part,
it's like I was saying, this is why I love it, but it definitely feels like the last big thing of all of them. You know what I mean? Like, obviously they'll still be around, they're still top guys, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not ending their career for them here, but like, it's just, if they all get matched up in this way, I'm not sure how much of them are gonna be hanging around for these type of fights again, you know, like they've all gone to war so many times. Dan Hooker's slightly younger than all of them, so he's gonna be the one, like, you know what I mean, he's gonna be the one, but like Dustin's been talking about contemplating retirement, Gaethje's been talking about like contemplating retirement and saying if he gets knocked out again he's done. We already know what the deal is with Conor, you know what I mean? It's
Chandler
like,
old as shit, fucking Oliveira, just, you know, who knows how long he's gonna be around. Because it's like, all of the winners of these fights are gonna like get their last shots at like these big fights, and then when they lose that, they're gonna probably be done, and then it's like the losers from all of them probably fight each other for one last thing, and then they're just all gonna end up retiring. Within the next year or two, most of these fighters are probably gonna be gone.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. So just gotta love it while we still got it, and just really got to enjoy these last bit of fights between all of them at the top. But moving on to some official fight news and some official announcements. UFC 310 in December. Boy, did we get dumped with a whole lot of great news and a whole lot of good shit. We've been talking about it for a little bit for the December pay-per-view of what's like exactly going to get booked for it. And I know for me, I had two things in my mind. It's either A, they're going to put Conor on it, which confirmed it's not going now, or B, probably going to get two title fights if they can do it. Bilal defending his title, Pantoja defending his title. And we got both of those. Bilal versus Shavkat Rakhmonov is your main event for UFC 310. How excited are you motherfuckers to have this officially on the books for the end of this year?
Bro, I'm so ready for this fight. It's like,
I'm ready for that.
Because once Bilal got the belt, it was immediate like, okay, Shavkat's next. And then it was just so much random like talks of Usman in there and just all of this other shit that was not being talked about prior to this fight, where I was like, yo, is the UFC gonna do some fuck shit? Like, is Bilal really about to sit out for this long and we are gonna go Usman Shavkat? Or now Bilal and Usman are talking shit and Usman's former champ and he did the favor of short notice taking the fight against Hamzat. Are they just gonna give the title shot to Usman? Like, there was questions raised, so I'm happy that it's actually confirmed. Like, no, they're doing the right thing. It's Shavkat in there. Oh, it's a scary fight for both of them, honestly. Because it's like, obviously, Shavkat just a killer. He's young, he's taller, he's longer, just in there to go to war. But Bilal just on a streak with a mission. A bit older, but even showing in his last fight that even though he's older, he can still get it done, and just was very dominant over Leon Edwards. It's just tough for both of them. Like, I don't know, but I'm so ready for it.
Look, it's all right. There's perfect marketing for this. the ultimate finisher versus the ultimate decisions merchant.
Can Bilal drag Shavkat to his first decision?
Yeah,
Maybe he has been.
I don't think
He's
so.
been knocked out before. I don't think so.
yeah. Because obviously, like,
It's not like Shavkat's a scrub on the ground either.
because obviously there's like a lot of questions with this fight, but I feel like the biggest one for me that is gonna tell a lot of how it's gonna go is who's gonna be able to pressure the other one.
Yeah.
Can Bilal pressure Shavkat like he did in Leon against Leon to take the title, or is Shavkat gonna be able to like keep enough going that Bilal can't walk him down like that and keeps him on the outside and get his stuff going? You know what I mean? Like,
right, because that's the thing with Bilal versus Leon is okay with being patient and taking his steps back and just trying to counter things, but Bilal put too much on him that he couldn't do that. Shavkat's gonna walk forward. He might walk forward into some shots because his head movement doesn't really work until he starts getting hit, and then he moves it for a little bit, and then he just stops again.
Yup.
I don't know if Bilal's gonna be able to get it going the same way because of that. Like, I don't think Shavkat's gonna let him do that because he's gonna be the one walking forward, and like I said, he's taller, he's longer, and he might be able to just put his own pressure on him. And if he takes him down, it's like, I'll be very interested in the grappling, you know? Like,
oh yeah.
I don't know.
It's so good. It's such a good fight. So excited for it. The co-main event is also official. We were talking about it a little bit before I mentioned it, but didn't really mention it too much. But Pantoja, he is back looking to defend his title once more against UFC newcomer, making his UFC debut, Kai Asakura, former Ryzen champ. Bruh, if anyone doesn't know him, it's a real easy YouTube search to just catch some of his fights. And if you're looking at like some of his fights that he won, don't really go too long. A lot of them. He's pretty good at getting a finish. He loves to get them early. He's a kill or be killed kind of guy. And
something that I think is a bit notable is a lot of things, like every time we watch Pantoja, we always just be screaming at the screen for whoever he's fighting, like, yo, go to the body. Go to the fucking body. This is like, you know what I mean? You can't knock him out. He's obviously tough as shit and keeps moving forward. He's too good on the ground. Go to the body.
Yes.
Kai's last 2 wins are knees to the body.
Yeah.
We have been saying this for so long because back when it was Pantoja Moreno, we were watching. Me and Jimmy, I remember we were watching a bunch of fights. And we're just like, from Pantoja, it's like he really does not like getting hit to the body.
Yeah.
He just doesn't.
Yeah, there are just those brief moments where it's like he's walking forward, all that. You could put shots on his head. He just walks forward. You get and then his opponents touch him to the body, and you noticeably see him set back and reset what he was doing. It's like, but to your point,
he's kill or be killed, so he can definitely be knocked out.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's been knocked out by Manel Kape, Kyoji Horiguchi, and then some other guy back in a while ago, Ji-Hoo Moon, who was 9-9. But either way, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, he can be knocked out.
Yeah. And that's why I'm just so interested in this, because he's going to go for the knockout. Like you mentioned, Pantoja never been finished before, but it's like, we're going to say it every fight. Who knows when that damage is going to accumulate and someone's finally going to be able to get it done over him.
Yeah, when is it finally going to crack?
Kai Asakura can easily get knocked out by Pantoja in the first round, but he might just be able to get it done in the first 2 rounds or something himself. So I am just extremely excited to see how that plays out. And when was the last time we seen a motherfucker get a title shot off his UFC debut? You know what I mean?
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I know I have. Like, I haven't seen it and watching for like 10 years. So
the only person that someone pointed out, I'm trying to remember, who's the guy that TJ Dillashaw had to fight on short notice?
I forget.
But you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because it was his UFC debut, but it was a short notice thing. Off the top of my head, like, it's scheduled that way?
Yeah.
I don't know, but there have been a couple times in history where I'm like, it should have been?
Nah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's very interesting. I'm super surprised that the UFC went this way. We knew that it was probably gonna be one of the Kais. Was definitely leaning more towards Kai Kara France, but Kai Asakura gets it.
Honestly, I'm just not surprised because we've been watching them just trying to push flyweights because flyweight is such a fun division, but when you have everybody has fought, like, Royval, Pantoja, Moreno, Kai, they have all fought each other and everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, it is just constant rematches and trilogies and all of these things. So they're like, fuck it, let's just get Usyk in here. Fuck it, let's get Taira in here. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I get it. So at least with Kai having more experience, he was in Ryzen, like, at least it's not just some 22-year-old, 24-year-old just getting thrown in there. Yeah. But it's just, I feel like there's so many rematches and it's just been, I don't want to call it dead, but stagnant with the people and the way it's been moving, that they're really trying to get some things going. Yeah, I honestly, like, with you saying that, my brain instantly went to, it's like, DJ, obviously he was at the start of the flyweight division, so like all of his wins, you know, he was just running through title defenses. But Pantoja, you know, came in like after that, so he's already beaten, like, you know, to your point, all these top guys and everything. Yeah, because with Pantoja, he got the belt late, but that was because of the Figgy Moreno shit going on, not because he didn't deserve it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. And I think he came through on tough in that season. I'm pretty sure. But with that season, it's like DJ was beating everyone, and they needed someone new. So they did a tough season of bringing in all of these regional champions to like have someone fight Demetrius Johnson for the title, and that's like when Tim Elliott got his title shot. So like I feel like basically it's UFC in a way kind of doing the same thing, where it's like, Pantoja has beaten everyone in the division. We need someone new. Well, we kind of know who the best champion outside of the UFC is right now. So instead of doing a tough season and all of that, we need a new contender now. So let's just bring in Kai Asakura and get him to fight for it. You know what I mean? Like, I was just about to say, that same kind of feel to it.
It's what he's beat: Royval, Moreno, Kai Kara France, Perez, if I remember right.
Usyk.
Usyk. Right? I think he has beat Nicolau, yeah.
No Nicolau, but Manel Kopp.
Okay, yeah.
Manel Kopp.
It's fucking everyone, man.
Like, literally, you start going through the division, and most of that top 15, he's already beat.
Yeah. And then, now we're at, like, 2 times over for some of them, you know what I mean? So it's like,
some of them would be the 4th time.
Yeah. But either way, great fight. Super excited to see how that plays out. And then we just got a whole lot of other fight announcements on that card too. Bruh, so ill-advisably, Joshua Van, why are you just continuing to fight too much? Taking on Cody Durden. Bro, this is gonna be such a fucking war.
But after Cody's last fight, it's like, I know Joshua Van won the Edgar Shires fight and he looked good, but the way Cody was out there just swinging and banging with fucking Matt Schnell until getting the ninja choke 29 seconds into the second round, like, he can't go out there and go through that when he got knocked out 2 fights ago, which was only, 5 months before this?
Yeah, so with, like, you know, the only thing that with Joshua Van that I feel like is kind of on his side with it, because both of them got knocked out and then fought too quickly afterwards a win, and are now fighting too quickly afterwards, like, against, you know, each other.
That's true. I totally forgot that he got knocked the fuck out by Bruno Silva.
But the thing with that is, like, Cody went to war with Matt Schnell, but it was up at 135, where he did, like, the weight cut kind of saved him with, you know, not having to do that. So him going back down to 125, who knows if it's, like, just gonna be a hard weight cut, because I'm pretty sure he's missed weight a few times. I think I could be remember that wrong.
He has never missed weight.
Okay, I could have sworn he was one of the guys that missed weight. But, you know, so it's just like, who knows if it's just like, going back down to 125, if he's not gonna have that same level of durability like he did in the Matt Schnell fight. And it's like, Joshua Van is definitely gonna be the much more technical striker between them, you know. So it's like, all I can hope is that Van gets it done by a nice knockout. And
for sure.
Oh.
Scary.
Yeah, very scary, though.
So good, though.
Yeah. Continuing on the card, we knew that this fight was going to happen, Tatiana Suarez versus Virna Jandiroba, but it's official for UFC 310, just another great fight added to that card. just tough fight for both of them. We'll see who gets it done and gets their shot at Zhang Weili for the title. Other fight on that card, it got canceled, rebooked to UFC 310, Vicente Luque versus Nick Diaz. Just as sad as the first time. Nothing has.
I'm not excited for that fight.
Not excited, but still happy that this is the route for Luque and that it didn't go a different route instead.
Yeah.
100%. I can understand that.
Let him make some money, whatever.
But it's also like the way Nick looked in his last fight against Robbie Lawler.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I just don't want to see this. Like,
definitely understand. Fight that I got added to the card on my birthday, November 2nd. Jack Shore taking on Yusuf Zalal. My boy Yusuf Zalal is back. This is definitely going to be a tough fight for him. Jack, a very solid grappler. So, I feel like he's going to have to probably look to keep it on the feet and get the striking going to probably get it done.
And I mean, even on the feet, like, he was looking pretty good against Brito. Like, remember, it stopped because just that crazy shit on his leg. Like, the calf kick started making his shin bleed. They called the stoppage. Jack was very upset. He's like, I'm fine. Like, I know I'd probably be upset too because, that sucks. But so definitely a tough fight for him.
Yeah. Hopefully he gets it done, though. We'll see how that plays out. Great main event, November 9th, Apex event.
Yes.
Neil Magny, he is back doing the thing that he always does and he will forever do. Be a gatekeeper to the top 15 of the welterweight division, and he is taking on Carlos Prates. The balls on Neil Magny to be like, I just got fucked up by Michael Morales, but let me fight Carlos Prates next. Like, 5-round main event? Yeah, I'll do that. Sure, no problem.
3-0 in the UFC now, 1-0 on Contender Series, finishes in all of them. Straight left, knee to the body, left hook.
Yep.
It's crazy. Like, I so much respect.
Okay, Topology's obviously bugging, but I just opened up Carlos Prates, and it has him booked for November 9th against Neil Magny, but also 309 against Randy Brown.
Very nice.
He's pulling double duty, okay?
Bro, that'd be so fucking funny.
What the fuck?
But yeah, so...
Yeah, because I remember this fight being talked about and being like, yes, this is what's booked.
Yeah, I guess I just forgot to cancel it on here. It just threw me off for a second. But, either way, good fight. Neil Magny's bugging out, but whatever.
Yes. Very nice. All things Tafa related, they always come back with each other one how or another. Kennedy and Nzechukwu, he was supposed to be fighting Justin Tafa on UFC 308. Justin Tafa pulls out, and in steps in Chris Barnett, which he was supposed to fight Junior Tafa. And then he had, it all makes sense.
It's just musical. When it comes to the Tafas, it just becomes musical chairs.
Constantly, every single time
everyone's opponents change.
It's great.
Yeah, never ends. Very funny. But that should be a pretty fun fight at heavyweight between Kennedy and Chris Barnett. Hopefully Chris can land like a spinning wheel kick or something and get a beautiful knockout. That would be awesome. But the last little bit, not confirmed, but stuff that is apparently in talks. And I really love these fights. I really hope this is going down. December 14th, apparently going to be UFC Tampa. Supposed main event looking for that. Ian Machado Gary, undefeated welterweight, taking on Sean Brady. That is such a great fight at 170 pounds.
Yes.
It's like Ian just, used his grappling against MVP to get it done, which was not the most impressive at all. But definitely the smart way to get it done, knowing that he wasn't going to be able to do shit with him on the feet.
Yep.
He definitely cannot grapple with Sean Brady in this fight at all.
One mistake on the ground.
Yeah, man, but Sean Brady is just so fucking short and stocky in there. Ian is fucking long and tall and lengthy. Like, it is going to be such a good stylistic matchup between striker and grappler.
Hell yeah, because it's like... Sir. I'm sorry, Sean Brady is good, but he is still the guy that got standing TKO'd by our champion.
Yes.
And Ian Gary has good striking.
Yes.
The grappling, there's no way he can hang with him. There's just no fucking way. But I am interested to see if he can do anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Ian Gary by knockout.
I don't know, because it's like Sean Brady was looking much better with his striking against Gilbert Burns, which is like Gilbert was being very just gun shy and not really doing much, so it gave Sean Brady all of the opportunity to work and be able to, like, just see what he can do with his offensive ability with the striking. But obviously Ian Gary is not going to give him any of that shit, so it's like I really don't know, man. Like, I'm so intrigued by that matchup. Not at all how I thought they were going to go. I assumed we were going to get, like, Leon versus Ian Gary in December or something like that. That seemed much more likely to me, but shit.
And I mean, like,
we'll see.
Looking at how if this is, like, actually gets booked and everything, and looking at how the rest of the division is going, is it possible we're going to see Jack Della Maddalena versus Kamaru Usman?
I think that's very possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that fight, too. So.
Yeah.
Honestly, 170 is just in an amazing position right now. I absolutely love it.
And
it's like, this is such a good matchup. And yeah, you have them. You have Jack. Shavkat's now fighting for the title. Joaquim doing good and making his way up in fashions that I think people were not expecting. Michael Morales just breaking into the top 15, but got himself that number 12 spot. Carlos Pratt's about to fight Neil Magny. If he wins, that's number 15. Like, it is in a beautiful place right now.
Yeah.
Like, this is how the transition should be going for all these other divisions.
Yes.
It's just not.
Yeah, and the thing that I really just hope for so much, it's like, we do not often get undefeated champions versus undefeated contenders at all.
Ian Gary has to win.
Yeah, I really hope Shavkat is able to get it done. Like, I would love for Bilal to be able to win, but it's like, if Shavkat wins, I want Shavkat versus Ian Gary for the title, and I would love to see Shavkat versus Michael Morales for the title.
Yeah.
If fucking Shavkat is able to remain undefeated, getting the title, and then defend his title against 2 undefeated challengers and beat that would be so impressive, and just, like, that is just not something that any other champion has on their legacy. That would just be an entirely different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. 170 pounds is amazing right now.
Still gonna be pulling for my boy Sean Brady, though.
I understand.
I don't.
Out of any of that, I do hope that Sean Brady would be able to beat Ian Gary, but it's just more hype, undefeated versus undefeated.
That's really what it is. It's not even that I want Ian to win over Sean. It's that there's so much potential for greatness and just for crazy things that I need it to happen. I want to see it. Like, like you said, I want to see those fights. I want to see multiple undefeated versus undefeated in championships. Shavkat's winning. Shavkat remaining 100% undefeated. I mean, finishing straight. You know what I mean? Like, all of that. Like, yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so... great fight. Hopefully they're able to secure that and get that official. And then the co-main event, if this is actually true, boy, I was not expecting any kind of shit like that. Mateusz Gamrot continuously getting disrespected. Fucking all of the shit that I argued for so long of why he should have been fighting further up than getting a Dan Hooker fight. And he gets fucked up by Dan Hooker. And they're just like, here's unranked Ludovic Klein.
Like, I will say, Ludovic Klein is on a 7-fight unbeaten streak.
Yes.
He had 2 wins, the draw with Jai Herbert, and now he's on a 4-fight winning streak. So, like, for him, he should be getting in the rankings.
Yes.
But, bro, Gamrot going from the backup to a title fight to losing a split decision, because then he fought RDA? Either way.
Yeah. Yes.
But then losing the split decision to Dan Hooker, and then, to your point, fighting unranked. Like, it's so crazy. You could have had Jalen Turner in there. You could have had, like, multiple other people that it would have been like, all right, it makes sense that Ludovic Klein is fighting into the rankings. But Gamrot, the disrespect.
Crazy.
I think they're really trying to throw Ludwig Klein into, like, they're really trying to push him.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's just gonna be another fun banger to the top of the division. You know what I mean? Like,
I didn't realize he was only 29 years old.
Yeah, not old.
And we need to get in 155 is that division where I'm like, we need to get a lot of these guys up into the fucking rankings.
Yeah, 100%. Start getting some turnover in that division for sure. But that is all of the news to go over, all of the stuff to talk about on this episode of the podcast. I hope everyone enjoyed it. We will catch you on the next one, the preview to another very fun Apex event. Let's go! Peace out, everyone.